ahead. If people do not like the content, they will choose what they want to watch. If you blacklist and black out people, how is that helping you? You do realize that at one point of time, one, you will not have visibility. Two, you will only hear what you like hearing. You will have no reality check. Who wins?
No, we have not banned channels. We have identified individuals, and certain individuals who have, the kind of journalism they have been practicing is not liked by anybody. There are people who come to me and they say when they open the television channels, their stress level goes up. So,
Karunaji,
journalism
then if people are doing unethical things, go and counter them.
After all, you talk about...
Karunaji, go and counter them. If somebody, tell me this, let me give you a hypothesis. If I sit here and I run something false about the RJD,
because...
and you are not here to counter it, I will run it anyway, right? Who wins? You will not get to counter it, sir. But people will watch it anyway. Who wins?
Panja, Panja, the very fact that I am sitting in Times Now program with you as an anchor shows that we have nothing against any channel or organization. But we are against an individual who is basically creating a narrative which is detrimental to the health of democracy of this country.
Okay. Now, again, I would like to ask, let me bring in Tushar Gupta on this. I don't want to focus on the political. Let me ask you, as the senior editor at Swaraj, the argument given is it is not about the media, it is about individuals like Karuna Sagar says who are detrimental to the health of democracy. Tushar Gupta.
Padmaja, my worry is not that they are boycotting these anchors, whoever they might be, whatever channel they might come from. The party has the entire right to boycott a platform from where they could make their voice heard, from where they could put forward their perspective. They have all the right to do so. Maybe it sounds like a self-goal. Maybe it is, but they have all the right to do so. My worry is when they label them as a threat to democracy. Because you, as rightly pointed out in your introduction, today they are boycotting them in the name of agenda peddling. Tomorrow they'll say they're a threat to democracy. Day after tomorrow, they'll file some sort of a case against them in some state governed by one of these parties. And the fourth day, it will be an arrest. That is my worry. You don't want to engage with an anchor or a channel, it's completely your right. But if you are going to label them because you dislike them or you disagree with them, that is where the threat begins, and that is what is making many people to say that this is like the emergency again. And again,
and also this is very subjective, right? Who decides what is unhealthy for democracy? I just played out an episode of where 9 children have been killed in Bihar, for example, in a bridge collapse. Tomorrow, the RJD can say, oh, this is spreading disaffection among people in Bihar. It's very subjective. And far from boycotting, they can go ahead and file a case. Where does this end? Speaking of people who are seen as agenda peddling, I want to show you some pictures. This is a gentleman called Niranjan Takle. Okay? He wrote that story in Caravan about Judge Loya. Subsequently, that story was debunked. He participated in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He participated. He didn't go to cover it. He participated in it wearing a Bharat Jodo Yatra t-shirt. Now, does he remain an impartial journalist or does he get boycotted? Mind you, I am not saying he should be boycotted. I am just saying this labeling is very dangerous. Today, I.N.D.I.A has done it. Tomorrow, BJP will do it. Where does this end?
Well,
Lokesh Jindal.
Well, Padmaja, yes. Padmaja, it reminds me of a cricket match in 1981, MCG. Sunil Gavaskar was not happy with the umpiring and he walked off the field because he was not out, but he was given out. The umpires, they were heavily biased towards the Australians. There was sledging going on by the Australians, but what was being targeted were the Indian players. This is something which people from the opposition face sometimes in the media. We face such a biased umpiring that we are not given a chance to put up our points forward. Many of the times, incompetent speakers from the other end, They come out with their own forms of ranting. They have a louder voice. They
Since
come up
you
with
use
their
the
own
cricket
forms
analogy,
of
let me
cheap
ask you
talks.
this. Let me ask you this. If you find the umpire biased, what do? You boycott the game of cricket? Or do you go and appeal against the behavior of the umpire?
Tell me one thing. Do we have a
Boycotting cricket
platform
and
right
saying,
now to
अब तो जी मैं cricket ही
where
नहीं
should we
खेलूंगा
appeal?
ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ, that is not going to help you, is it?
Where should
Who
we
loses?
appeal?
You
Where should we
lose.
appeal? No, tell me one thing. Where should we appeal? The central government has no ethical standards at all. I mean, there is absolutely no way where we can put up an appeal. Many times we have put up an appeal. It's a self-regulatory. So the only thing, best thing that we have to do, we remind of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi said, while he launched the non-cooperation movement, that when the Britishers, they are so apathetic to the cause of the common man, we shall not cooperate with them. What has happened, Padmaja, the Kashmir files, the Kerala story, all this was promoting hatred. There was a commercialization of hatred that was going on. Now, media over here in India, it is supposed to take up issues serious with respect to judiciary, with respect to economy, with respect to social issues, with respect to all other aspects which are dealt with a common man. A common man looks up to media with high aspirations, not with some commercial agenda
sir.
whereby
Hold
the
on a
media
second.
houses...
The media is expected to take up all issues. You do not get to decide what the common man cares for. Common man also cares for unemployment, also cares for inflation, but also cares if somebody makes a completely insulting comment about Sanatan. You cannot do this thing saying, oh, जब आप economy कर रहे हो, जब आप unemployment कर रहे हो, great. The moment you ask,
Agreed.
why are you making this distasteful comment? Oh, this is a very communal, polarizing BJP agenda debate. We boycott you. No, sir.
No,
You cannot be
no,
the
no,
arbiter of what the common man wants to hear. But again, on that note, let me ask you. The gentleman who wrote that story on Judge Loya wore a Bharat Jodo t-shirt and participated in Bharat Jodo Yatra. Now, according to your certification agency, is he a journalist or is he not a journalist anymore? Since now people are distributing certificates, is he a journalist? Is he not a journalist?
Padmaja, recently the Supreme Court, it gave a call, or it highlighted that media and its nature of reporting is leading to media trials. It's leading to establishment of kangaroo courts. It is just not political. Even judicial institutions, they are highlighting the manner in which the media reporting has undergone deterioration.
Sir, are there flaws? 100% there are flaws. How is a boycott going to help? Another very senior journalist who currently, he's got global fame. He also walked in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He also conducted an interview there. He is supposed to be impartial, but he also is seen here walking with Mr. Gandhi. Is he certified as an impartial journalist or is he not certified as an impartial journalist?
Padmaja, impartial and partial with respect to political realm is something different.
No, but the boycott is happening because you're talking about hostile journalists. So, sir, hostile journalists का opposite क्या होता है? You are saying ये hostile है, हम सिर्फ friendly journalist को access देंगे. You do realize how counterintuitive it is. You are saying हमें सिर्फ दोस्ती चाहिए. Hostile nahi chahiye. Weren't you the people who said that the very idea of journalism is to be anti-establishment, not to be dosti?
Absolutely. The task of journalism as the fourth pillar of democracy acts as a check on the arbitrary power of the state. If the journalists, the media, it becomes pro-establishment, I mean, there is nothing that is left to make the government authoritarian.
Sir, I am asking you a very...
It is the checks and the fear of the media which checks the functioning bureaucracy, which checks the
since you are talking about media checking the functioning of the bureaucracy, do you know that there is a man called Deb Mallya Bagchi? I'm sure you wouldn't have heard of him. But 2 days ago, he was arrested in West Bengal. Why? He had written a series of reports talking about illegal hooch trade in the state. People who are putting out lists of TV news anchors to be boycotted had no time to talk about how a man was actually arrested in West Bengal because he pointed out illegal hooch trade. I am again saying that this marking out of a certain section as hostile journalists and speaking up against them, the next step is going to be arrest them. Who is to say you are banning them because they are hostile or you are banning them because they are uncomfortable? Today you have othered them, you have banned them. Tomorrow you will jail them. It's a small step away. Where does this end?